Good morning and happy Monday. It's time for another Mindful Play Monday Live. And this week we are kicking off officially the start of summer and also some fun ocean and summer themed activities, as well as connecting with our little ones at home and in summer school through mindfulness play and crafts and activities. So for this morning, we are going to focus on the topic of jealousy, which is a big one that a lot of our little ones struggle with as well as adults, and how we can help manage those big feelings, identify them, and work through them together. And with that, we're going to be creating a cute little craft to go along with an ocean theme that we've been studying called the Jealous Jellyfish. There he is, little jealous jellyfish, and how to overcome and work through the jealous jellyfish feelings. So for today's craft and activity, the only thing you'll need is a paper bowl. So you can kind of see this is just a small white paper bowl, and then something to decorate it with. We used our Quick Sticks craft paint. You could use paint, markers, colored pencils, crayons, anything you'd like to use to decorate the underneath of the bowl. So you're going to take that small white bowl and turn it upside down. We also used some googly eyes, so you'll need some glue for some googly eyes. And then for the jellyfish's little legs there, we used some tissue paper, just like old gift wrapping tissue paper. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and turn that bowl upside down and have your little one decorate it. So we painted ours with paint sticks this morning, and then we also went ahead and attached the eyes so that those could dry before we continue on with our jealous jellyfish craft. You'll also need some string if you would like to hang your jellyfish. We are just using some yarn and then poked a hole, tied a knot through there so that we can hang up our jealous jellyfishes as a good reminder in our calming corner, and then also in our rooms to help us work through those jealous feelings. Now with your tissue paper or your gift wrap, we just cut those into 1-inch strips like so, 1-inch wide strips I'll say, and then you can make them as long as you'd like for however long you would like your jellyfish legs to dangle or blow in the wind. So you can see our jellyfish legs there. And then we also used a Sharpie and a marker to write on each leg. So the first thing we're going to do as you start decorating your jellyfish and are waiting for that paint to dry or are waiting for the next step to make your little legs for your jellyfish, we're going to be talking about jealousy. So what does it mean to be jealous? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? And help your little ones first identify what jealousy is. Because a lot of times they'll see maybe a friend or a sibling, someone in school have something that they wish they had, and they're not quite sure how to label or identify that as being a jealous feeling. So first we're going to talk about, oh, I noticed that you saw something your brother had and you really, really wanted it, and it kind of made you feel a certain way, maybe frustrated, kind of angry, and that's called being jealous. It's when you are admiring something from someone else and you really wish that you could have that too. So first it's going to be labeling and identifying, and that alone is a good way to start to overcome those jealous feelings. Now, what can we do with those unsettling feelings? Maybe we have a little bit of a tummy ache, maybe our face is kind of scrunched up, our fists are clenched, and describing what that sounds like, looks like, and feels like in our bodies is going to help us then identify and work through them. Also, a great reminder to explain to your children, it's normal. Jealousy is a normal feeling, and even a lot of adults and grown-ups feel that same feeling as well. So how can you first identify and then work through that? So that's where our jealous jellyfish comes in. So we're going to work on writing some ideas, I know that's backwards for you, on each leg of the jellyfish. And these are all ideas that we talked about as a family and that we also use in our home. So some of these are the kids' ideas and then I added to them as well. So the first thing you can do when you're feeling jealous is tell someone. Tell a trusted friend, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, your caretaker, your teacher, hey, I'm feeling kind of jealous right now. Help them name that feeling. Maybe you will then decide, hey, I think I'm going to stop and have a little snack. That might help me feel better. Of course, make a thankful list. So a lot of times when we're feeling jealous, that means we're not being present in the moment and we are projecting those jealous feelings, looking at somebody else, wishing that we had maybe the life that they had, the toys that they had, the house that they had, whatever it may be, the bike that they had, and we're projecting that onto ourselves and saying, oh, look at what I lack because I don't have what they have. So we're gonna instead flip that around and we're going to make our thankful list. Get out a pen, a piece of paper, and make a list of all the things that you're thankful for. We love to ride bikes. That's another one. You could go out and ride bikes, listen to music. We do a lot of music or Tony's boxes or your Yodo players. Go grab those, change the mood, change the tune, listen to some music. We are big on art and crafts, obviously, so coloring, drawing, hug a toy, grab your favorite stuffed animal, give it a squeeze, and also squeeze a squishy. So the kids currently really like those little squishy toys, kind of like stress balls. You go and squeeze a squishy, squeeze all those jealous feelings out, and then we're coming around back to telling someone. So first, of course, identifying those jealous feelings, and then going to our jealous jellyfish for ideas on how we can work through them. So once you have decorated and dried your jellyfish body here, the next step is just going to be to make that list of suggestions, and you're going to help your little ones write onto the tissue paper. I used a Sharpie just because it's easier, it shows up nice and neat, and then it doesn't smear on some of those more textured gift wrap papers. So you can use a pen, whatever works best for your family. So the first thing we're gonna say is hug a toy. That's kind of our go-to to help ourselves self-regulate in our house. So you're going to write that down on the little jellyfish leg, and then you're going to add a piece of tape. I've just got regular Scotch tape here to the end of that, like so you can kind of see it there. And then I'm going to flip that bowl upside down and tape it along the outer rim like so. And so that's going to keep going all the way around as you continue to work together as a family. Make your list of suggestions and ideas, things that you can do to overcome and work through those jealous feelings. We're going to add another one. We like to go outside, get some fresh air, fresh perspectives. That's what we like to say. So if we're feeling a little jealous of our brother or our sister or a friend, we're going to take a moment to stop and go outside, get some fresh air. Another one that's really big now that it's summer here, it's very hot, and the kids just love to do water play. So one of my favorite super simple parenting tips that has been a lifesaver 1,000 times over is when your little ones are starting to get dysregulated, frustrated, angry, fighting, tired, whatever it is, just like a plant, you're going to add water. So just add water. Try some water play. That could be as simple as just a bin of water on the kitchen counter, getting in the bathtub, taking a relaxing bath, going outside with the water sprinkler and the hose. Just add water. So we love to play water, and that kind of is a nice way to get some sensory input and reset, restart, and refresh. So adding water, especially in the summer here, is another one. And then let's see. We also know that if we have an empty belly, that's going to cause a lot of frustrations. So the first thing you can do when you're noticing those uncomfortable feelings, those stressful feelings, say, when's the last time I had a nice drink of water? When's the last time I had a good snack? Is my body hungry? What is my body trying to tell me? And kind of help recenter yourself there. So you can keep adding to your jealous jellyfish, go all the way around. And then we actually have these hanging in the kids' rooms. They each have their own little jealous jellyfish that they have hanging kind of near their windows that they can refer back to. And when we do experience those jealous feelings, those uncomfortable feelings, we can say, okay, wait, let's go to our jealous jellyfish and see if we can get some ideas on how to bring ourselves back into the present moment, focusing on gratitude, things that we're thankful for, things that we already have, things that are great about who we are and what makes us special. And then also check in and see if we can do any of these other things to overcome the jealous jellyfish. So just a cute little ocean themed craft. We've been learning about oceans a lot lately. We'll probably have a few more ocean themed activities for you in June because it's always a fun one for summer. And using materials you already have at home to overcome that jealous jellyfish. So give it a try this week. Let us know what you think. Hang them up, be great in your classrooms, your calming corners, and of course your bedrooms. Makes a fun little decoration for around the house too, and working through those big jealous feelings. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week ahead. We will be back every Monday for another mindful activity that you can share with your students and your children at home. Depending on the weather and depending on travel, since it is summer, we do try to stay consistent with a 10 a.m. start time every Monday here on Instagram. I'll also have the recording up for you shortly on our YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Have a great week.